Hi, we're here with the Shockerfest promoter. Your name, please?
George Baker.
How many years?
Co-promoter.
What is it? Co-promoter?
Co-developer, yes.
Okay, I thought you were the head promoter of it.
Well, no, my wife and I started this in 2002. This is our 8th year. And we're co-directors officially. We started it together and operated together every year.
So what made you decide to start this operation?
Insanity.
Okay, that pretty much sums up a lot of stuff in one shot.
Minor case of temporary insanity. Actually, we're both film fans. We're both writers. And we had decided to develop something cultural for the Modesto area. There were no film festivals here. We looked around. I'm a big horror film fan. She's a big science fiction fan. And so we decided, it might be time for a festival. We looked around, and at the time, the listings we found on the internet showed only about 10 or 12 genre festivals in the world, and most of them were in Europe. So we decided to try and start one, and of course, as you know, there's now horror festivals all over. So
there's horror festivals, and then there's horror cons.
Correct.
A lot of horror cons still.
A lot of film festivals.
The sci-fi cons have died out, but the horror haven't.
So, well, there's still a few sci-fi cons, like WonderCon over in the Bay
WonderCon's
Area.
a Comic Con.
It started as comic, but it still deals a lot with science fiction. Science fiction writers show up. Bacon.
They show up, but they mainly in San Diego is where they take place.
Yeah.
WonderCon's still comic book pure almost, but they do have the video game seep in there.
One of our the members of our board was one of the originators of WonderCon. So,
which one is he?
Bill Harrell.
Is he he's the one that has the comic book shop in Berkeley, correct?
No, he had a comic book shop in Stockton.
Okay. Yeah, because I know the comic book shop in Berkeley is also one of the founders, and one of the guys in Oakland I know also worked on it too.
Right.
So, what made you choose horror over sci-fi?
Well, we do horror and sci-fi. Shockerfest is a science fiction fantasy horror festival. And originally we had animation as part of the festival as well. We were restricted to some extent in the animation because most of the animation that came in was horror related.
Okay.
And so when we got large enough with the animation, that it spun off in its own festival. But we still have, in our festival now, we have a full day of science fiction and fantasy. And quite frankly, we'd love to have more. The main thing is it's a lot more difficult on a low budget to make a decent science fiction film.
That's true. Horror movie, like there was one guy in, I think, Tracy, that made a horror film for $150.
Yeah. Of course, I don't know how good it was.
I don't either.
I haven't seen it,
but there was a newspaper article about 2 weeks ago about it.
Now we've had feature films here that were made for $1,000 for a full-length feature, and been very good films. It's not necessarily with the technology the way it is now. It's not necessarily money that makes the movie.
It's creativity.
So it's creativity, but the whole thing starts with a good story. If you don't have a good story, I don't care how much money you throw at it, it's not going to be a good movie.
I'd have to say the hook is the key part to the movie. So what would you say out of all the 8 years that you've done the Shockerfest, which is your one particular favorite standout indie film?
I couldn't tell you. There's new films every year that are just great.